I know you've no rushes up to good counties, so you know. But we've plenty of boiling water at home, I can assure you. Well, for those of you that don't know what a wine bar is, a wine bar had a big shaft out in it like that, and it had a blade in it, and the blade had all triangular sections in the blade. And you see, if we were working on stony ground, you'd be tormented because you'd have to rise the bar and you'd have to lower the bar. Because if you hit a stone, there wouldn't be a section left in your blade. Well, there was this fellow from our part of the world, and he was working on the wine bar all day on fierce stony ground altogether. Gee, he had a desperate day altogether. And you know, when it came to nightfall, when he came home, she had the wife with the supper ready for him. He said, no. He said, yeah. He said, no, God, no. He said, I couldn't dare a bite. He said, gee, he said, I'm feeling right bad altogether. He said, I'll go up to bed. Well, up he goes to bed anyway. Gee, he wasn't too long in the bed anyway. What the next thing, he got a fierce pain altogether. A desperate pain, and the wife said the doctor would have to be called. But of course, like every man, no. Your doctor was called until it was too late. And out in the night, the pain got worse. This pain down in the pit of his stomach. So nothing was to do, only the doctor had to be called eventually. And when the doctor came, the doctor examined him, and the doctor said 'twas a hernia he had, and that he'd have to go into hospital. When my boy was never in hospital in his life, gee, the last thing he wanted to do was go into hospital, but sure, there was nothing for it. So he arrived inside in the hospital anyway. When he was running down the corridor into this room, and this big bowsy of a nurse came up. Well, didn't she strip every stitch of clothes off my boy? and she left him there in his back there so much. But Buffy thought that was bad enough. The next thing, this other bowsy of a nurse in the door she comes, with a big pan of sudsy water, and the bubbles rising up out of it. She had a brush about that quick, something like your distemper glass with foam on board. She had a cutthroat razor, and a strap edges, and a bar of carbolic. Well, she set to work on my boy in the bed. She got the brush, and she lathered up a fine head of soap. And then she started to lather him up. And she started to lather him down. Away down in the nether region. And then she got the cutthroat razor. She opened it up. She tested it to see was it itchy enough. Thank God she thought it wasn't. So she got the strap and she started edging the cutthroat razor up and down the strap, testing it again. And when she thought it was edgy enough, she set to work on my boy in the bed. Well, there she was, like they say down our way, she was blowing a lonely for her. and she was just about to round the headland. And my poor boy was inside in bed and he was peppering in the rain. And he looked up at her and he said, "Hi, nurse," he said, you'd want to rise the bar. There's stones there. No operation could be worse than that. At least wouldn't you be out for an operation? Well, my boy went through the operation for the hernia and he made a great recovery. Now, at that stage, you'd be kept a long time inside in the hospital to recover. And by the time my boy went home, she after the rest inside in the hospital, sure he was fierce mad for a bit of Tasman. Mad for a bit of iron when he went home, but faith and there was nothing doing. Nothing doing at all. Every night she'd only turn to that. But you know, he couldn't rightly understand it. But isn't it always your friend that would bring you the bad news? What did a fella come and tell him? Only that she was having a bit of a fling with a fella down the road while he was in hospital. Gee, you can imagine the row that would cause. Like they say down our way, she was milking outside the book. When your man heard this, who can imagine could be the father and mother of an almighty row? And sure he had to confront them. He said, Maggie, girl, he said, I hear, he said, I'm playing second fiddle here. And she looked at him with disgust and she said, she said, well, she said, with an old flute like yours, you're lucky to be in that band at all. Now the row really took off. And I'll tell you how that row finished. He said to her, Maggie, girl, he said, when you die, he said, and it won't be a day too soon, he said. I'll tell you, he said, what I'll write on your headstone. Here lies Maggie Murphy, cold as ever. She looks. She said, yeah, well, yeah, she said. Come here, she said, my mate, bye, she said, and I'll tell you exactly what I'll write on your headstone. Here lies the body of Paddy Murphy, stiff at last.